Hello, I'm Joseph Santana, and I hope you enjoy this short video. So before we talk about what I offer as a speaker, I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about myself. Before launching my consulting practice and my speaking practice in 2012, I was the Diversity and Inclusion Officer for Siemens' 60,000 employee multi-division operations in the United States. And as the company's first countrywide diversity officer, I was the architect of what became their highly successful and award-winning USA Diversity and Inclusion practice. This practice, which spanned across 10 operating divisions working in a variety of industries, had over 10 diversity councils, 60 employee resource groups, and 3 national networks that were fully functional at the time that I left the company. If we step back a little bit in time, before entering diversity and inclusion, I worked in 2 other professional areas that I feel had a tremendous influence on the work that I do in the diversity and inclusion space. In one of these roles, I headed up a multi-million-dollar generating 300 employee consulting and outsourcing organization in New York City that also covered New Jersey. And in the other, a few years later, I led a national organization and development team for a very high-paced 5,000 employee engineering organization. As a result of these roles, I bring a direct frontline revenue generating experience as well as organizational development strategy to my diversity and inclusion approach. The net of it is that today in my speeches and in my presentations, I fuse together these experiences as well as my work as a journalist and my passion to provide my audiences and participants from around the globe with insights, powerful strategies, and new tools. So here now is a short clip from one of my recent keynotes.
Please welcome Joe to the podium.
Actually, my birthday's tomorrow, but I will tell you, after she was listing all these different things that I did, I realized, God, I've been alive a long time, haven't I? But anyway, thank you. I'm honored to be here. I want to congratulate all of you. I think, notwithstanding, you guys deserve another round of applause for your accomplishment as top counselors. I know how hard it is to do the work that you do. As Linda mentioned, I've been involved with counselors for quite a while now, so I'm very familiar with the work that you do. Now, one of the things I was told is the importance of brevity in giving this type of speech. Now, I've got to tell you, Winston Churchill, I heard as a rumor, gave a speech one time that was reputed to be one of the shortest speeches in the world. He got up in front of Harrow School, right, and he looked out at the audience and he said, "Never, ever, 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 ever give up," and then he sat down. Right? Isn't that wonderful? My message essentially is the same, but unfortunately I got 2 pages and 4 minutes. So I'm going to elaborate a little bit. You know, again, I think it's really important that you enjoy the celebration, the milestone, the energy, the momentum, everything that you're getting out of this. But the message that I want to leave with you is that now is the time to keep the pedal to the metal, to really step up what you're doing, continue doing what you're doing. You know, it's interesting, but it seems to be probably somewhat in our nature to sometimes ease up a little bit when we think that we've sort of achieved something pretty big. I went to a meeting one time, and I remember it was really interesting. I was a guest. I was one of the guest speakers. And the CEO went up to the platform with the CDO in tow and essentially said, "You know, we won this great award, we're on the top of this list, this is fantastic," and then I quote, said, "We've arrived." Okay? And the CDO looked a little nervous at the comment, "We've arrived." And quite frankly, I think after they arrived, they left, because I never saw them on any one of those awards again later on. But that's not unusual. In fact, if you look at the list of people who have won various awards, you see a lot of movement. Sometimes people rise up to number 2 and number 1, and they sort of disappear. And the reason for that is, again, sometimes hitting that milestone and thinking, we've arrived. Now, in the area of diversity, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you should never take your foot off the gas, as it were. First of all, whatever is amazing today will hardly draw a yawn tomorrow, right? Let that sink in a little bit. If you told someone 40 years ago what a fantastic job you were doing in hiring women and minorities into your organization, they would look at you and say, wow, you're so progressive. If you said that to someone today, they would look at you as if you said, we have this incredible advantage. We have email in our company, right? It's no longer a fantastic thing, right? The bar is going up. Today, engagement is what's important. Today, being able to leverage people is what really distinguishes an organization. So the bar is going up. Two, while the bar is going up on the old topics, new topics are being added to the mix. For example, 30 years ago, you didn't hear anything about 4 generations in the workplace. 2 generations, maybe, right? Today, we have the 4 generations in the workplace, and we may possibly have 5 at some point, according to what some of the writers tell us. And then we have other topics, such as the global elements of diversity and others that I won't list, but clearly new topics. So you have old topics, bar going up, while new topics continue to come in. And then thirdly, this is all happening within the context of competition. Right? Because quite frankly, the people that are in second, third, and fourth place, their goal is not to equal the people that are in first place. It's to surpass them. Right? So it's happening within the context of competition. And in order to continue to stay on top, you've got to keep moving. So here's what I think is a good story that has a moral to it that's applicable today as we celebrate. It's a story that I'm sure you've heard. It's attributed to Aesop. It's a fable about a rabbit that wanted to humiliate his turtle. So he challenged him to a race. So they both start to finish at the start line, and they take off, and soon the rabbit obviously has a lead. Looks back, the turtle isn't even in the dust. So the rabbit decides, I'm going to take a nap. I've got plenty of lead here, and the race is in the bag. We've arrived, right? And to the rabbit's surprise, when he wakes up, the turtle actually made it to the finish line first, right? So we've heard that story before. So here's the message. The message is really very simple. Never, ever, ever, ever let up. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep competing. Keep looking for better ways to extend what you've already done, sustain your advantage, and go on to future greatness. Congratulations to all of you. It's an honor to be here and talk to you today, and I hope to be able to share some ideas and learn more about your successes as the evening progresses. Thank you.
This slide shows a few of the topic areas I cover. For a more detailed list, visit my website, which is listed toward the end of this video. And on this slide, there are a few quotes from people who've attended some of my keynotes and my workshops. Again, if you want more information, visit me on the web or visit me on LinkedIn. Thank you for watching this video.